Ooh. Really? The laws of this game. He's getting shot from the other side of the map. That's our spawn point. Yay, arcade maps. Let's not go around that other corner, shall we? Oh, no. Yeah. Arcade maps have been. Port Novarisk is another bad one in my opinion, though. I'm picking. You might say you like it, but it's really quite a very, well, limited map. Let's see what we've got for Simulator Battle. I don't think there'll be any tank event simulators. Yeah, well, it's Mozdok. This is a classic one. This map used to be that size, you can see there. Basically, you get to play on, like, sometimes this size area now. That's it. They've got this entire map to use, and you just use those 4 squares there. If you try and move out of that area, you get killed. For reasons. And it limits gameplay to some extent. Well, a lot. I mean, World of Tanks maps are bigger than that. That's bad. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing World of Tanks, if I'm honest. There's a lot of things they can do, but they're unwilling to even think of doing, apparently. They've got scripts in place that you can run in game and so on, you know. So they could easily do this kind of stuff. I've seen they do like the break kind of cap thing. You know, that is a nice one. That they could really work with that and do more things with it. Like for example, right, so this map for example, with the break setup being a little bit bigger and longer, what I'm thinking of is basically making it not necessarily like an enduring confrontation, but like a realistic battle, and not arcade. Now, what I'm kind of suggesting is basically like with break, with the multiple cap point things, yeah. So you've got like set up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, say cap points on this map. With that, it means that you've got a much longer and larger battle. With each cap point as well, you set up other things as well. You set up the spawn points so that they advance with the cap points, so they can spawn closer to the conflict. And vice versa. The enemy get to spawn at another cap point close to the battle, not miles away as people are suggesting. I mean, I played Squad yesterday, and Squad's perfect for it. You can basically replace your spawn point according to your squad leader in that game. But in this game, they don't need to have a squad leader. They can just set it up so that this spawn point moves with the cap point, if you understand what I mean. And have it so it's a staggered battle. They can have different objectives or sub-objectives as well, like pillboxes, anti-tank guns, say for example, to protect the spawn points and so on, or having a base to spawn from, rather than just an empty area where you get shot within 10 seconds because your spawn protection's run out. There is a lot they can do with it, but yeah, they seem to be very unwilling to do so. I'm gonna play around hopefully with the CDK in the upcoming weeks, because this I've run out of stuff to research now, and they seem to be very, I don't know, limited in thinking when it comes down to stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, well, they've got all of these models in game already, why not use them? Is that like a silly thing to say? Maybe, I don't know. It seems that way with this game sometimes, but like I say, they could do all of this stuff with the game. I'm kind of thinking, well, let's play around with it and see what I can do. Some of the stuff's already actually there, if you know what I mean. I've seen maps with gun emplacements set up, like anti-tank guns, artillery, and so on. So they're already there. They just have to put them in place and then give them like a crew. And I think some of them actually have crew and do shoot you. So it's even easier because they can basically just put that into a battlefield and set it up like an actual battle. I mean, like with certain things, obviously they're going to have to limit it down, like the AI accuracy maybe. But it's not that hard to do. They should kind of do that for everything, to be honest. And have a bit more RNG in the guns as far as accuracy goes. But yeah, I mean, I suppose it's not that bad. You can kind of notice it more at long range, and that's what you don't see because most of the engagements are very short range. I mean, most of the maps they've designed have basically been done so that the engagements are less than 500 meters, and that favors really one nation in particular for the most part, that being the Russian one, mainly because of the sloping of the armor that they introduced with the T-34. It's more down to kind of like how they can be used on the maps more than anything, but the designs of their vehicles allow them to get close, shoot someone and kill them, whether it be a side shot or a front on shot. Most of the time a Russian gun will do that in this game. If you look at the battle rates and how the battle rates work for the vehicles, I'd say 99% of the time the vehicle's guns, actually I would say 99% of the time, but now I've got Japanese, 98% of the time. You're looking at guns that can easily penetrate what you're shooting at. With the advent of the Japanese tanks into the game, it's a little bit different. They tend to not penetrate as easily. But yeah, with regards to this, I am going to try and do something with it in the next month or so. There is a competition going with War Thunder. Whether or not I'll be able to enter that because I'm banned on the forums, I don't know. So I might actually have to create an account just to enter the competition, which is going to create some problems when I actually collect the prize if I get one. Which I probably won't if I'm honest, because goes in. But you never know. We'll see. Fingers crossed I can get the time to do that with all of the constant War Thunder footage that I'm going to use. I'll go through. I really want a big map, if you know what I mean, but I'm just not getting it most of the time with this game. The Curse map, I like it, but I've played it so many times I can kind of tell you where exactly the AI tanks are. Almost. Which is kind of scary. As far as the other big one, Sinai goes, Sinai's another interesting one because I've not played it very much, but it can be painful because of its openness. It suffers a little bit for that, but it does have quite a lot of kind of hidden dips and so on. What I think is the issue with Cyanide though is that the upper part, the arcade part, isn't open to the simulator one. Why they've cut that off from the simulator one, I'm not sure. It's a bit strange, and they could open that up to it. They could make it, a much bigger conflict because of the way that it could set up the break cap points and so on, like I've already suggested. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might have to play around on that actually and see about doing something on that map. We'll see.